Hello, Instead.
Hello, folks. Tim and I are back this week working on our local first meal planning app, lovingly entitled ChEffect, which we're building with ChEffect and LiveStore. Just kind of like a fun project for us to test out these different technologies working together and see if we can come up with a nice way to work with all of them on the front end.
Mm-hmm. Maybe I pull up my to-do list and see where we got to. And I think your harness, I'm not sure we released it, but added some new features to LiveStore that we might be able to try out. Maybe I'll check that first. Sponsor the pressure. I just want the GitHub. No. It's not released yet. That's right. But let's just jump into the to-dos. So what do we got? Make the form look nice. Hooking up the form to the state. And then recipe details. Okay.
It looks like it's time for us to build. It looks like it's time for Tim to build EffectRx form.
No, thank you.
I saw, what was it on Twitter? Somebody tweeting it at about EffectRx form when, and it was like when Tim Smart needs it.
Yeah. Yeah. We added a new result API for making pattern matching easier. That we can use that. It's called result builder, and then you can pass in a result. So here we've got a result with a list of recipes, and then you can just go on initial. So this is the case when the store is still loading. And then we can do, you can in this case, the builder can't fail, so you don't get the error cases. And then for on success, we can extract the recipes. And then we can just call render.
Cool.
But if you had like tagged errors in here, you would get on error tag, and then you can like pattern match on the error tags.
That's cool.
Don't think there's anywhere else we're using result. No. Alright, so the first thing I know to do was make the form look nice. So if we pull up the form, move the video. So there is button cannot be a descendant of button. Interesting. Where is this?
I think it's in our drop-down menu trigger. Drop-down menu.
So if we go to what will the address be button?
So
Not sure we need the fortress anymore.
I don't think we
I
do.
kind of we do want it to be a button in some cases though. Maybe if we just do tag name.
You just try the as. You try the as child thing again. I think if you inline,
it's child.
If you inline that add recipe trigger, like if you inline both those components with the small check and everything, I think the as child will work.
If you inline what, sir?
If you inline like all of the logic from the add recipe trigger, those buttons, like if you just inline all that logic underneath the drop-down menu, I think it'll work. Yeah, because it says, actually, no, if you have a subcomponent, Radix says, if you use a subcomponent, your component must spread props, like all of the props. So take like spread props, like after small, like accumulate the rest of the props.
Yeah.
And then spread them into the button and the other button.
Okay. We've got syntax error somewhere. And then okay. Okay, that'll work. And then I have this. And no errors in the console. Alright, let's go to our form. And form. This is kind of a horrible form.
It's a nice V0 generated delicious.
Which see what the editor form thing is like. Seven months here. And coming on.
Maybe look at the apps. Maybe that's a sample.
Source. Belongs. Let's look at app. Routes. There we go. Too simple. Where are the routes coming from? Forms. That's loading the forms from index. But so bunch of schemas for you. Display. What is maintain? Is it like a component library? Yeah. We don't really want maintain.
I think we could just use it with React hook form.
Yeah. So simple. So you need editor, form core, and what are the other packages in here? Fields, Phantom. Yeah, I guess we use this. To form core. No, core form maybe. Package.json. Yeah. Form core. And then fields, and then React form.
Somewhere in here, there's a /layer file.
React form. So it looks like you always need React form. But they didn't have alternative to maintain.
Unless the thing that they're injecting is just a component. Or like React, the JSX thing.
Maintain fields. I mean, it's not very complicated, so maybe we can just hand draw one.
Let's do it.
It should appear dependency issues, but it's fine. Form. So we go to import. Form body. Struct. So here we need to kind of copy this, I guess. So title would be string text input, and it is required. Text input dot required. Well, it's kind of a gnarly type, isn't it?
Wow.
Probably just need to wrap that in the interface. Interesting. We need an image. Not sure what we're going to do about images yet, but we'll stick with imagery ref now. Ideally, you would upload images and we would store the blob somewhere.
Yeah.
You like this will make your LSB quite slow. If you had a big form. Prep time is a number, I guess. It's optional. Let's decorate. You kind of want to like set the labels there. Yeah, I guess you do it later. Cooking time, servings, ingredients. So this will be an array. So I guess if we go form body dot array, need form body dot struct, and then we need a name. I guess we can make the name option. Let's make it required now. And then each ingredient block has the actual ingredients. Quantity, no unit is optional. Select optional with literals.
I think you might have to select imported, yeah.
Because I think this. And then we can just pass in our unit count literals.
You just have to spread it.
Ingredients, steps. Rating. Maybe if we define our own component for that. Because we kind of, it's not really a number, but it's like, we will want to render it slightly differently. Form field rating input. That is, it's a class that references itself. And number import FC, what is that? Okay. Oh, mistake was that? Schema. Annotation? Yeah. What annotations do you have in here? Description. Okay. Let's be 5. Let's rating. And I guess we could just brand that. And here that would just be an optional.
Do you need the optional version?
Option from the, so it expects an option. Yeah, you might not be, you don't have to do a rating.
Got it.
Schema dot option. Sorry, what is that? Optional. Option from non-empty trim string. So it takes in a string. Right, so we have to have string encodable schemas. So here it would be number from string. And then I guess we could do a components. Option. There. So you kind of have to traverse the option. What do they do for number? Yeah, they do a transform. Schema dot transform. Then we're going from. So we just make writing a number, and then it would be schema dot option. Maybe we could just borrow the schema here. What's it? Number input dot optional dot schema. Schema dot compose. Schema dot optional problem self rating. What do we got here? Those types become unreadable after a while. We just want to get the as schema. So we go from a number, empty string or null, to a rating. It doesn't seem right.
Yeah, that is what that schema is doing.
I think that should be a number from string in here. Unless it already converses for you. I'm guessing
Form
tested.
Yeah,
tested
reactive
the
form
number.
might do that for you already. I don't know. Let's go with it and see.
Feel like the type is a lot easier to read, so let's keep it. I guess if we look at the required one as well. Yeah, they just have schema number. So for required, we could just have our rating schema here. Let's export that.
So, excuse me.
Move it over here. And then in our recipe model, if we use rating, no or ratings. Right, so we've got our rating input. Then we've got a body, which is an enormous type. It is impossible to understand. But is there fields in here? Already on schema. Yeah, that's me. What's the next step for using this? We've got our body form display.make, and then you need to provide the UI. Big body. And then effect.provide. And 10 rich. Oh yeah. I guess if we maybe put it here. This will be a shared scene. Rich. So we need to essentially do a shared scene version of this. It's funny that you need to provide a button. And that is coming from 13 fields. It's coming from the main team package. Okay. Is there a syntax in here? Error. It's not formatting. Oh. T6. So layer uncontrolled input. We don't have it. Do we have a text area? Yep. Number input. But this is expecting a component. So I guess here we're just passing this guy with the type set to number. And it's shared CN as like a specific number component. I don't think it would. Okay. Number input. So props input. And type number.
It looks like you have to forward ref for these components.
Install a slot. Options. Layer. Oh, we already did text area. Did we have a select already?
Yeah, it's in the it's in there.
select I need to import it differently. Select and select. Doesn't exist on type. So you can't order it. Really ref.
Yeah, wouldn't we have to forward ref here, or are we using React 19?
We are using React 19. I mean, we could try without it and see what happens. But their select is quite different.
I think we could probably copy that template there and just render out what we need to.
Select UI. Close that up. And we get rid of the forward ref. And then autocomplete these guys. So this would be the placeholder. And options doesn't go there, it goes in here.
I think we can get rid of the props spreading on EUI as well.
Root. Or if you pass it like a class name or something.
Yeah.
Maybe we just pull out placeholder simply. What else is in here? Label. Where would the label go? Like this. Form item, form label. Interesting. They've got their own form component.
Yeah, I think they have pretty tight integration with React Form. On the left, if you look on their sidebar, they have a section for it as well.
Okay. I guess for now, if we just use form button, I don't think I've pulled in fancy inform yet.
I don't think we need it yet. We could probably just ignore the label and just see what happens.
Do we do want the labels?
Oh, there it is. There's the label. It's the select label right there. No. It's like right there.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I've pulled it out.
I meant in the select group, there's a select label component that right now just says fruits.
Fruits. Where?
In your code,
Yeah.
the select label with fruits. You could probably just replace fruits with the label we're getting.
That is inside of the menu. Fruits.
Yeah.
Which we don't need. So here we would do the old map over the options. Label value. We only need one. That will be value label. And we need a key, which I guess would be okay. So for the label, we'll just use the label. The label is a reaction edge. Multi-select.
I think you only need these if you're using them, right? So
Yeah.
probably try. We could probably try commenting all these out.
There's a checkbox here or a checkbox group.
I think it's because we're, yeah, there we go. Nice.
All fields. Do we need all fields?
Don't know.
Form.
We still need to wire up the React form thingy in the other file as well.
So returns an effect. Type. So it needs rating input, form framework, number of parts. So it only requires the ones that you need. But that does mean we need to have a UI for rating input. Schema 18. Cool. pretty sure I think there might be a rating. No rating component. But I guess we could just rating. Just steal one.
There is one on here.
Attractive rating. Code. Shantian. What's this?
I don't know. I just found it.
Copy. Paste. What? So here, need to go rating input dot layer. Sure. When do you need to do controlled versus uncontrolled? Not sure.
No idea.
I'm guessing controlled means you need to bind the value in unchanged. But still, I didn't blink. Props. We'll see how it works. Props. Rating. This. We go here, rating. There's a default value and a normal value. I don't think we're past the value then.
These are properties we defined in the component itself, like the interface.
Yeah. And they actually get past the packages. I guess it would be in the React quote form stuff. Component. Register uncontrolled. Register controlled. Controlled gets some extra props. Okay. So if in here we just do value undefined. And then here, where do we need to pass it? Oops. Can't rename it. Okay. Why is it in an IO, right? So in here we get value, it will change. Or maybe we just spread everything in. Value. So it's on value change. What does that do for on change?
They were just passing it
Gets
right
an
in.
event. We're saying it uses target.value. If we just do 5 by default. And here we need the rating button. And that takes just a key. Okay. Let's clean up our things, our imports. So there we need to do our fields layer, then provide merge now. React hook form thing. Layer. Provide merge React. Form.layer. Can we just do that?
I think so.
Variant incompatible.
No. Try that any. Live on the edge, Tim.
What variants does this have? Link, default description, secondary ghost.
What does it want? Stringer undefined. Yeah. That's any. There we go. Living on the edge.
It doesn't have our rating input in here. That's because I added an explicit team. There we go. Okay, so we have something.
It's certainly something.
Effect.provide. And it will be the shared scene React form layer.
What are your bets that this will work first try, Tim?
We're getting pretty low. Rating input.
Yeah, Effect RX form is seeming more and more likely.
Whatever requirements here. Definitely. Requirements, rating input. I'm pretty sure our layer included rating input though. Did I forget to save? Is that what? For some reason, load change got undid.
You got undid.
The new requirements, correct. Okay. So we're down to display thing. Display.form. Let's put on your organization mode. Let's put everything you do the UI. Okay. So if we get rid of that buffer, get rid of all these I'm not sure how you like add form field groups here.
Well, We could probably start with just trying to display a simple like field from our thingy and just see if that works.
Display.form. And then let's clean up. And I'll submit. This. Maybe we could even use the decode.
Tim, you're getting wild on me now.
Encoded. And then we need, maybe let's just display the title first.
Okay.
Okay. And then we want to have a label of title. I don't think we added the label in our input.
Isn't the title just a text field?
I don't know. So we pull out the label. And then the fragment. Okay. So start. Okay, so the label is just text, so we do need to label, and pull in our label component. Better. Need some white space there.
Can you
just put a spacer here?
Can you just give it a margin bottom?
Yeah, we can do that. We have a title.
It's a beautiful title.
It's beautiful. We need to add in this application.
Try something more complicated. Put the rating input in there.
Rating.
Ooh, it's so pretty.
It's not sticking there. Here is our rating. So if we approach this, let's go console. Let's see what we got next. So we got a name. Unchange. Event values change. And we can't probably unchain yet. It doesn't work. Unchange. Change. Okay. Now we. There is no RE there. What? Okay, so if we do that, what do we get? Okay. At least let's see what happens if we just pass it and see what happens. Hey. There we go. We just needed to proxy it to value change. Represses. We're back. Yes, scope again.
I think you just zoomed in, that's all.
Alright. So rating. Now if we try pulling steps, maybe it's less complicated than the other guy. Steps. There was an example of a group here where they had a nested struct. It's a nested dot field. The one about arrays. Do they have an array? They did have an array. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Users. Users dot element. Add user. Append. Remove. Okay. Display dot users. Add user button. Users dot fields. Display dot steps. And then initial values. We'll need that. Steps. What are we missing? Prep time serving the greens ready. Cooking time. Did we make cabbage roll required? No, that's not sure. Prep time. Ingredients. We do want an initial ingredient. Unit we want to start off as no. Rating can start off as no. Servings, no. So for steps, we need display dot steps dot fields. And then maybe we can copy paste some stuff. So for each step, we have this. Display dot steps dot element dot text. And then for text area, redo the same thing as before. Okay, so text label. If we try add an add button. And then we start porting over the UI.
And I think pretty soon I'm gonna have to head out. So we can either port a few things, or we could pause here and start porting UI next time.
Yeah, we can do it next time. It's like one of those tedious things, forms.
Gotta love forms.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm still pretty impressed that we got this far today.
Yeah, it required a little bit of reverse engineering of this library, but the library doesn't seem too bad.
No, I kind of like it.
I think the final form code will be quite easy to grok compared to what it is right now.
Yeah, what it is right now is a hot mess.
Hot mess.
Hot mess.
Yeah. This,
All right, folks.
It'll be interesting
Welcome.
to see if like our model is assignable to this schema.
It will actually be really interesting. I agree.
So don't really have any to-dos to update yet. So maybe we just come with this and call it form with.
Cool. Well, thank you everybody for joining. Hope you all had a good time, and we will see you next time.
So yeah.
Cheers, everyone.